the Jets at 2, swapping out with the Falcons at 4. Atlanta moving up to get Zach Wilson out of BYU in the 2 spot. Take us through your rationale here, Mel.
Heir apparent to Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan will be 36. You think about in a division where you want to be ahead of the game there. Go get Zach. Tom Brady can't play forever. You think about where the Jets would be with Kyle Pitts. Something they got nothing out of was a tight end position. Kyle Pitts can block in line. He can be outside as a wide receiver. Great matchup nightmare for that offense against any defense he faces. So for Sam Darnold, if you're moving forward with Sam, surround him by better talent. A great start would be Kyle Pitts.
Now that you said it the way you said it, Mel, it makes sense at 4. I didn't think about Mike LaFleur coming over from San Francisco, tight end position in the West Coast system is very valuable to them. So, yeah, number 4 makes sense for me. I was a little bit suspect at first, but now that I heard you say that, it makes all the sense in the world to me. When you look at where these quarterbacks are right now, the hype surrounding Zach Wilson along with Mac Jones, why is that, Mac Jones? Why is that right now?
It's what people see, Key, and I think that's where scouts have to anticipate. They question Fields because he doesn't anticipate. He has to see guys open. Scouts have to anticipate and project, or you're not doing your job. Anybody can see what they see. It's what somebody's going to be down the road once they are coached up, once they gain more experience. And I think you look at Josh Allen, look at last year, Justin Herbert. It was the same criticism of them, that they had to see guys open. They didn't throw with anticipation. Tua did it better. Sam Darnold did it better than Josh Allen. Look where they are now. So for me, I think Justin Fields, people forget how great he was in 2019. An interrupted season because of COVID. He didn't have Olave against Northwestern. Then he was beat up in that Clemson game. Yet he still won that game, wasn't 100% for the national championship game against Alabama. So for me, Justin Fields is a guy that I've been consistent all along. I have him as the number 2 quarterback in this draft behind Trevor Lawrence. They were 1-1A coming out of college. I still have coming out of high school. I still have him there right now coming out of college. And I think Mac Jones, because of the great year he had. Now, the thing with Mac is only 17 career starts. Trey Lance, North Dakota State, only 17 career starts. There's a little bit of a concern there. But for Justin Fields, I would have liked to see him go to Texas or Ohio State. Talking about where you're playing and had that great year. I'm talking about Trey Lance, like Justin Fields did leaving Georgia. But Trey Lance opted to come into the draft after only 1 game this year, which wasn't that impressive. He could have been the heir apparent to Fields. Could have gone with Sark to Texas. He opted to come in. Had he played next year, he would have been the number 1 pick in the 2022 draft, I think, hands down. So for New England to go up and get Trey Lance makes sense. I think for certainly San Francisco to go up and get Justin Fields makes sense. And then Mac Jones at Carolina. Matt Rule had him Senior Bowl week. How can you not like what you saw if you're Matt Rule from Mac Jones down in Alabama? He was phenomenal in those practices.
Let's go back to the New York Jets at number 4. Circle back. I know you have them in your mock draft, taking a tight end in Kyle Pitts opposed to a receiver in Jamar Chase from LSU. Why not a receiver to develop and get a tight end later on in the draft?
It's a great question, Key. I think it's tight end because you're not going to find anybody near what Kyle Pitts is in round 2, round 3, but you can find wide receivers in round 2 that are going to be really good. Nico Collins out of Michigan is a nice player. Opted out, got his weight down at the Senior Bowl. Good power forward type receiver, no question about that. And a host of other guys could be in a slot. Amari Rodgers at Clemson. Think about Elijah Moore at Ole Miss. So a lot of receivers in round 2 and round 3 could be really, really good. No tight end in this draft is even close to Kyle Pitts.
Mel, I love your energy. You bring it every single day. One team that you didn't have drafting your QB was the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's all we keep hearing about, rumors from around them drafting a quarterback. How much did you consider that before putting out your mock draft?
Jay, it was one of the big considerations because you had heard all the rumblings. Well, they may take a quarterback here to compete with Jalen Hurts. I think that's a sideways move to an extent because what you can do here is help Jalen Hurts. Get Jamar Chase from LSU, wide receiver. Get Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama, if Miami decides to take Chase. One of those receivers will be there at 6. I think support Jalen Hurts with some better talent. Hope Jalen Reagor, your first-round pick last year, improves, gets healthy, a little more consistency catching the football. You throw in a Smith or a Chase. Now you got weapons around Jalen Hurts where you can accurately evaluate him next season and see if he has the ability and shows the promise you need at quarterback to move forward, or do you have to cut ties and find somebody in 2022. I would give Jalen Hurts that opportunity. I think, I like Fields a lot. It's tough not to put Justin Fields in there and let him compete with Hurts. I get that, but I would go with a receiver at that point over the quarterback.
Mel, Penei Sewell, I've read things about him being one of the most dominant offensive linemen in the past decade. Is there any chance he goes higher than where you have him slotted?
I don't think so, just because there's some mixed opinion on just how great he was. Remember, he didn't play this year. And in 2019, I thought he was really good. Some will nitpick and say, well, he's not Orlando Pace. He's not Jonathan Ogden. He's not that super elite left tackle. I thought he was really, really good. And had he played this year and improved over what we saw in 2019, he would have been in those comparisons, and that would have been accurate. But I think the opt-out, some teams are a little leery of that because you had zero ability to deal with the opt-outs, be there to work them out, see how they were doing, communicate with them, none of that. So I think teams are a little hesitant on the opt-outs. That's why Penei Sewell maybe could drop to 5 and really help out Joe Burrow, be that left tackle on that Cincinnati Bengals offensive line that they haven't had really going back a while. But you would hope that Penei Sewell could be kind of like Anthony Munoz was when he came out of USC.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.